Hello everybody, how are you doing? Quick update on my lathe. I began calling Penn State first thing this morning, and about every half an hour, 45 minutes, I tried them. The line was busy all day long. I got home from work a little after 4, maybe 20 after. I called and it rang, but I went to hold. I sat on hold for a little over an hour and a half, and all of a sudden I realized my phone's not telling me, hey, please hang on for the next representative anymore. I went and looked, my battery died. So, and I figure it was after 6 o'clock here, which is 7 o'clock there, because they're at Eastern time. So probably I went into the hold queue and nobody was ever going to answer. So, I let it just run while I was working around the shop. And I'll show you a couple of things that I did while I was letting it run because I couldn't really record then. And I'll let you know what I'm getting ready to do. So let me show you a few things. The bag filter and the pre-filter in my Delta air cleaner. And then I just used a couple of zip ties to get that cord cleaned up. And you can see that white box right there. That's one of my remote control boxes, so I can remotely turn my air cleaner on and off. And I'll be using that tonight, guaranteed. I also gathered up, these are some cutoffs of the acrylic, and I had thrown these in the garbage can next to the scroll saw, but I grabbed them out because I'm going to build a little rack for these little tubes. And what these tubes are, they're going to hold my scroll saw blades. And I'll label each tube so that I know which blades are in it, and that'll keep them from getting bent up. And they won't have to be in my toolbox. And I'm trying to figure out some way, and I hadn't really done it yet, but some way, this is my spot where my scroll saw is, some way to maybe mount that little deal here, or have a couple of screws so that I can mount it to the wall whenever I need to. I think what I may try to do, and I'll test this on another piece of scrap, is back when I was in school about 100 years ago, we took a piece of clear acrylic, and we heated it up and we bent it into kind of a U shape. And then we drilled, 5 or 6 holes on the top and made a pencil holder out of it. I think what I'm going to do is take a piece of this acrylic and try putting it in my little toaster oven, heating it up, and seeing if I can then pull it out of the oven and bend it around something to at least make an L shape. And then I can put a couple of holes in the back of it to, maybe drill into that post. I don't know yet. I mean, it's worth a try, and I've got some scraps, so I'm going to give it a shot. Beyond that, there was one other thing I was going to tell you about. I don't remember what it was, but let me show you what I'm set up to do over here. This is Jim Zimmerman's Nova Comet lathe, and he loaned it to me. And I'm set up right now. This is Antler. I'm going to turn an Antler pin. It is going to go onto a Chic line kit, which is the same as a Slimline, bushing-wise. So I've got that ready to go. We're going to get that turned up. That's the one I promised my buddy, and I went in today and talked to him, and I apologize. I told him I would have it today. He just needs it by Christmas. But I told him I would bring it to him on Monday. And I went in and apologized and said, I've had lathe problems all weekend. A buddy of mine loaned me his lathe, so I'll be able to turn that for you. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. Beyond that, I think that's about it. I'm going to let you go. We're going to get that pin turned, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. Hey guys, well, my face is really red from the mask. I had it on pretty tight. I didn't want any leakage because with my beard, you worry about stuff getting around it, so I cranked the mask down really tight. I got the pin turned. I was really nervous because I haven't turned Antler in a while, and I only had one kit made up, and I didn't want to have to go through the process of, cutting and drilling and the whole thing for another kit, so I was really careful. And it turned out really nice. I used a Chic line kit. Notice a little filigree at the end there and on the center band. Really, the kit turned out really nice. I got about 5 coats of medium, 4 or 5 coats of thin, and it just feels as smooth as glass. I buffed it up. I was super careful with it, but it turned out great. This is the only pin that I committed to make, the last one, and I'm going to deliver it tomorrow, so I'm really, really happy about that. I got a few other things. I got a keychain I got to clean up, and I've got one more pin I want to make, but it's not a have to make. It's just something I want to make for me. And, so then beyond that, it's just doing whatever I want to turn. I got all those Route 66s to turn, and I'll be working on those over the course of the next chance I get in the shop. I know we got my daughter dances tomorrow and Thursday, and then Wednesday we've got a band concert. So it may be Friday before I get in the shop again. But if I do, I'll let you guys know. I used my air filter, did a great job. I could feel the air moving in the shop which is good. That means it's doing its job. And hopefully some of these particles, I had the dust collection going the whole time. And as I sand it, you could see everything. I don't worry, I wore the mask the whole time. I don't worry as much about when I'm using the tools because bigger chunks are coming off. You get some small chunks, but you're mostly getting larger chunks and you're not gonna suck those into your lungs. But it's the dust when you sand. And there's some smaller stuff too, but you gotta watch that sand dust. I've been trying to avoid doing Antler, and this will be the last one I do for a while. Just because now I've got to do some cleaning in the shop. But hopefully I ran that air filter for about 35 minutes while I was in there goofing off. And I came into this shop. I apologize for the light, but I wanted to make sure I wasn't breathing the ambient air just in case there was anything still floating around. So this is all I did tonight. I'm super happy. I'm going to go in and got a couple of small things to take care of in the house with the kiddos. And I'll see you guys as soon as I can get back into the shop. Maybe Friday. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.